Yo, yo. Good. I guess it's still morning. We ain't hit 12 o'clock. Everybody, whatever you're doing, it don't even matter. You here with us. If you got up early, hit the gym, salute, grocery store, salute. And those of you who are just getting out of bed, you late risers, get that coffee, get in front of the computer, whatever, because the boys are back after the bye week. I'm your boy Prime Source. What is good?
What's going on, bro? Another day, another $1.13. Trying to get it in. Yeah, we back. NBA started, like whole new world. We out here wilding in these streets, but it's still bird gang over here, as always.
Yeah, we already know that. You ain't have
Oh,
to understand.
okay.
We already know that. We can just tell. It's
Gotcha.
bird game with you regardless. See, you just what I'm saying. We could be sitting in the middle of April. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bird gang with you. So we already know what time it is. Good morning, to everybody checking us out. Bruce Parker, what up, homie? Cuzzo, Jay Hunley, what up, Cuzzo? Yeah, Cuzzo said I hollered Cuzzo the other day. So looks like he's gonna be able to get with us on the meetup this year. I think we had it on
Oh
a
yeah,
last Sunday for him last week. So Cuzzo coming through. I'm
that's what's
excited
up.
about that. And have fam in the house. So it's gonna be great. You know, the meetup is gonna be what's the 12th of next month. So we've got a couple
Yeah,
of weeks out, something
two
like that.
weeks.
Yeah, so let's get it, Buffalo Wild Wings, West Broad Street, but more on that later on. But like I said, we back from the bad week. We got a lot of business to handle. And so as I was thinking, just like we always do, we might as well go and start this thing up and recap what went down Thursday night. Did you get a chance to see the football game Thursday night?
You know, I did. I flipped in and out a little bit, but not for real because I was watching Dame Dollar, I believe. I was watching Dame Dollar
Okay.
and Giannis do their thing, and Dame finishing people off with the
Mm-hmm.
dagger. Finish Philly off with the dagger. So I was mostly over there, and then of course the Lakers. The Lakers played after that, right? I think the Lakers played after that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was on that NBA, but I checked in. It was Tampa Bay, so I was like, yeah, do I really want to? I'm gonna just check in every once in a while.
Yeah, I was doing like how I get down, man. Game NFL on tablet, Dame Dollar on another tablet. You know what I'm saying? So I had it all going on. And it actually ended up being probably a bit better game than I anticipated. Of course, I expected the Buffalo Bills to win the football game. Bucs were a little more competitive. Not that I think the Bucs are a bad team. You heard me talk about them earlier this year, and I said they're just steady. Like, people expected the wheels to fall off with Baker Mayfield back then. Granted, he's not Brady, but he's managed to keep this thing afloat. But ultimately, they couldn't overcome the Buffalo Bills. Bills won it 24-18. And I know you didn't watch the game, but I did some heavy analysis on this thing, Source, and I came out with a couple of conclusions to this thing. All right. First, let's start with the losing team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fine. I mean, I think there's only maybe one area I think they really need to focus on right now. They need to find another running back. They need to find another running back. I know I was pretty high on Rashad White when the season started, and not that he's bad, but they just can't seem to get that thing going. So they need to find a running back. Baker seems to be okay. I mean, we might have exaggerated his demise a little bit with him between him and Mike Evans. They look perfectly fine. Evans found the end zone. Godwin came off the milk carton. He found the end zone, but they just can't get that running game going. And I think as we talk about, we're right up on the trade deadline, and we were talking about all these potentials with this and Derrick Henry and all these other parts. Maybe they are the team that maybe needs to go and look at somebody like a Dalvin Cook, who's seemingly unhappy with his role with the Jets. The other thing that I came up with, if we want to flip the script to the Buffalo Bills, and I know a lot of people are watching them go up and down, watch Josh Allen play erratically, then watch Josh Allen, do his thing. I think they might be fine. I think they're fine. And the one reason I say that is Josh gonna be Josh. Josh, the type of quarterback that's going to have 3 turnovers in a game, but he also realized taking those chances and playing the way he plays would also makes him great, and in some people's eyes, an elite quarterback in some people's eyes, right? Watching that game the other night, they had 3 wide receivers, 3 people catch the ball, all over 65 yards receiving. Okay. 3 of them. So we're not just talking about Stephon Diggs. We watched Gabe Davis this season, right? Gabe Davis has gone from last year as a guy we could count on us to show up every 3 to 4 games, catch a deep one, to now a every game type wide receiver. Every time you look, Gabe Davis on a big game, Gabe Davis in the end zone. And then Dalton Kincaid, which everybody was high on. Of course, my Cowboys were high on, and we got jumped to get him. Showed up in this particular game as well, getting in the end zone because he ended up getting a start due to injury to Dawson Knox. But that offense can be just as potent as any offense in the league. I just think we're jumping the gun. We don't see it every week.
Yeah, I mean, people want more consistency from them. In seasons prior to this one, even when they've had bad games, they've been able to move the ball for the most part. Yeah. But they have had the occasional game. Like I just remember when Jacksonville was really bad, them losing to Jacksonville, like what was it, like 9-, it was something crazy. There was a low scoring game. I don't think either team scored 10 points, like 9-6 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, they'll be fine. It's Buffalo, and they ain't really worried about none of this. No way. As long as they get to the playoffs, that's all they really worried about because they're looking at the bigger picture. And again, you said it's early. This is week 8, so we have to. We're at mid-season, week 9. Well, after week 9 because we got 18 weeks now. Man, that's still different. That still takes some getting used to. Remember 16 weeks? Do you remember 16? Jeez.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Now we had 18 weeks. Of course, everybody gets a bye, but now you're adding that extra game as well. And yeah. But yeah, Buffalo's fine. Buffalo will be fine overall. And it's them in Miami in the division. I don't care what anybody says about the Jets. As long as it's Zach Wilson, I ain't buying into it. So and the Patriots, a win here and a win there ain't gonna cut it. I'm still gonna be looking at them crazy and laughing because you got to laugh because there's so many years of greatness from New England. But yeah, Buffalo's fine. They're fine. It's fine.
AJ, what's good, family? Yeah, man. I think they are a team that just people just like to ride that roller coaster with them, and that's just what it is. They're gonna come out and smack you 2 weeks, look bad the next week. So barely won a game when your boy turned the ball over a couple of times, maybe lose a game when he turned the ball over a couple of times. But the way they got that receiving core going now, you can't just focus on shutting down Stephon Diggs because Gabe Davis is gonna bust you in the behind. Last week, I think it was a kid, Shakur, got a touchdown for him. That offense is revving up to be something really potent. But to finish off my Bucs thought too, when I was talking about the running back situation, and like I say, Mayfield has been steady, but there's no way that they should have him dropping back 42 times in no game. There's no way. Baker Mayfield should not be throwing 42 passes in no football game, man. So they've got to find a running back, in my opinion, because we right up on the trade deadline. And I think they need to get another running back, and that way, and it doesn't have to be somebody to carry the ball 20 times a game. Maybe split carries with White, because I think White's still a capable back, but they need a little punch right there.
Yeah. They need something else. They need something else between the tackles.
For sure. So again, recap: Bills 24-18 Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's an interesting week, man, as we're getting into everything that's popping off this week. I think we got 8 games that we're going to run through today. But a couple of things of note, man. So I don't know if you really glanced at the schedule this week, but it's a ton of football games, unlike last week. Last week, there were 6 teams on bye.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody on bye this week. Everybody playing. Everybody on the field today. You know what I'm saying? So it is a ton of football to watch. So no complaining from the folks, the red zone people at the 4 o'clock game. We ain't got, man, we ain't got but 3 games. No, it's going deep today. I mean, I haven't looked at the schedule all the way out to see did we get this lucky the rest of the season. I don't know. But it's kind of odd. We sitting in week 8 with nobody on bye.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if that's because, or if it has anything to do with going overseas again next week and then the week after that. So that might, kind of put a change in it a little bit. Yeah, that might be what it is.
Other things to watch. So not only we have nobody on the bye this week. A lot of teams are going to alternate uniforms this week. I saw that. What did I see? The Seahawks are going to go for a 90s look, supposedly today.
Really?
If I saw that correctly. Yeah, so we'll see what those look like. Man, see if we can go down memory lane.
I need them to go with an 80s look. I need to see this Jim Zorn, Steve Largent joints out there.
The Largent joints, right? The Warner joint. Yeah. So they supposed to be going out. The Dolphins supposed to go throwback. Supposed, I think they're going all white against Belichick and the Patriots.
I'm like, what's a Dolphins throwback? Like, I see Dan Marino, but it ain't that different, is it?
They have like a couple extra stripes on the sleeve.
Yeah, it ain't a lot.
I can remember the Duper days and the Clayton and the Marinos, but I'm trying to Killer B. I think it had a couple of extra stripes on the sleeve or something like that. We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, blue and orange, or that whatever that you call it. I just call it dolphin blue. I don't know what to call the proper term, the aqua, whatever. I call it dolphin blue.
Whatever they wear, it ain't Kelly green, but that's a topic for another time.
And we have the Lions. I heard that the Lions tomorrow, they play Monday night. They play Vegas tomorrow. They're supposed to be going with some blue helmets with a throwback logo. That's going to be interesting.
Throwback to when? 1947? What are we going back to?
Go back to last week. I don't know.
We're going to leather helmets. They ain't had no logo. They gonna have the leather helmets on out there, Joe. What's happening?
And then we have, lastly, I think that's the last of it. I may be missing a few teams, but I do see that I was going to say the Oilers, the Titans.
Oilers.
Yeah, they going back to the Oilers uniform. So looks like they will be back, even though I don't think Tannehill is going to play today.
Yeah, I was about to say, what is this? What is this with Tannehill? Like,
yeah, I think
he didn't even need to put it on.
With Will Levis, and then they said that Malik might get some run too. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
But we do know that Derrick Henry is going to play, and apparently he's not going to be traded. Apparently, from what the comments, everything was hot and heavy early in the week about was Tannehill going to be there? Was Derrick Henry going to be there? A few other players, D-Hop. And supposedly they've come out and said that they are not looking to trade either one of them, which means one of them will get traded by Tuesday.
There you go. There you go. Trade everybody. That's what it should be. Let my people go. D-Hop did that to himself. We talked about it when it happened. I was like, hold on, bro. Why would anybody do this to themselves? How can you be this dominant receiver and go play with Ryan Tannehill? Not that I don't think Ryan Tannehill is as terrible as everybody says, but it still didn't make sense. I was like, that is not the answer. And he sees, I'm guessing, that is not the answer.
Yeah, so they're going back to the days of Earl Campbell and Dan Pastorini. What you know about Dan Pastorini?
That man said Dan Pastorini out there, John Warren Moon.
Yeah. No doubt. So they taking it back on those. And the only other thing I have of note for the NFL before we get into these games is we may have snow. And I bring it up is because it's a game that we're not actually picking today. But the Chiefs are traveling to, I guess they've already traveled to Denver today. And if you had a look at the Colorado State, I think, Air Force game yesterday, it was definitely snowing out there. Birds was in the air.
Yes, sir.
We're monitoring that. Please go on, give us that. Give us
We
well,
need
it's nice and warm over here in the 804. We ain't got nothing like that over here right now. Not that I said I want it over here, but I like to watch stuff like that. So
give us 2 months and a little bit, not too much, a little bit.
so apparently it's getting down over in Colorado. So very, very interesting. So let's go ahead and pick some of these games, man. Let's go get into it. We've been away for a week. So it's time to get down with the get down. And the first game we have is actually going to be the battle for New York. We have the Jets and the Giants going at it. I know some of you, why did y'all pick this game? Why? I mean, it's the battle of New York, man. I mean, it is what it is. But it's a lot of interesting stuff going on with this because, one, we're trying to see if the Jets can continue to their upward trajectory. We're thinking that they may be starting to come together, playing good defense. Zach is looking a little bit more steady. They're finding a running game with Brees Hall. And then the Giants in an interesting story after coming off of the 14-7 win, I believe, last week against the Washington Commanders. Tyrod Taylor is under center, looking better than the man they gave $40 million to. Very interesting.
Daggone shame. As I've been saying for a few years, Tyrod Taylor is the best backup money can buy. He's the best backup in the league because whenever he gets on the field, he's gonna know everything. He's gonna be the leader, and in a pinch, he's your man. Now, I hate to talk negatively of a quarterback of his stature. A black quarterback is what I really mean. But you know, him as a starter and him as a backup is two different things. And I don't mean like right now, like starting in this situation. I mean as your man. Him as being the man on your squad is one thing. Him being the backup is totally different, in my opinion. And in these moments, he's usually very good. He's usually very good. No less than solid. Let's say no
For
less than
sure.
solid.
For sure.
And I'm sure the Jets, if they had a choice, like if you said, I got Zach on this side, I got Tyrod on this side, which one do you want as a backup? I would think that they would go with Tyrod if that was a possibility. So I'm thinking that Tyrod is the better quarterback in this matchup. But both teams have actually been better than they not. I guess not than the Jets started out, but I guess Zach Wilson has been better than he started out, and the Giants actually have been better than they started out because they started out. What they do in that first game, Prime? I can't remember.
What's that?
What the Giants do in that first game?
For the season?
Yeah, what happened?
Got blasted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they couldn't help but do better.
Ugly
It's
like that.
sad.
Yeah.
It's sad when your backup is better than your starter, but you pay your starter like he's uh Tom Brady. Yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But yeah, this game has some interest, just not to me.
This would be the game I wish would have been in the snow. But go ahead.
Right. That would have been
This has been
that
a
would have
great
been
snow game.
entertaining. That would have been entertaining.
They picking this game, I'll be honest with you. I think that the Giants, as we were just speaking, had the better chance with Tyrod the center than the actual Daniel Jones in this particular game. Um, the thing that comes down to it to me, the Giants have been crazy turnover prone this season, though, like -4 and altogether team turnover differential. The Jets have actually not been that bad, especially the last couple of weeks. Jets also getting Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed back in this game. They were concussion protocol. They seem to be cleared to play last that I saw, man. And I expect both teams to get pressure. That's what I'm going to watch. Which quarterback handles the pressure? We know the Jets can actually get pressure on the quarterback without having the blitz. But then the Giants is one of the highest percentage-wise blitzing teams in the National Football League. That's how they get their pressure. So it's going to be interesting, whether, Zach or Tyrod, which one can, hold it down. But I'm still going to lean on the Jets just because defensively I think it's going to be a little more solid. Not that I don't think that Tyrod might not come out here with a couple of touchdowns, but I just think the Jets right now are just really starting to find themselves. This is the 14th time that they've met since the merger back in 1970. Jets lead the series 8-6, and it'll be 9-6 after the day. Give me the Jets 25-16.
Well, that's interesting score, Prime. 25-16. I got the 16 for the Giants, but I got the Giants getting the dub 16-13.
Okay. And it can happen. I can see because last week Tyrod actually started to get Darren Waller in the mix. We've been wondering where Darren Waller was at. Darren Waller actually had a decent night. So maybe that's the key to victory because he's going to have somebody to dump that thing too because that Jets defense, that front four, they coming, bro. They coming. Next up on the list, very interesting matchup. It usually is when these two teams get together inside the division, would be the Vikings and the Packers going at it. Vikings are trying to get back in this mix, and they got to be feeling good after what they did. Not what they did, what Kirk Cousins did to the San Francisco 49ers last week. Do we have any Niners contingent in the house? Any Niners contingent in the house? I'm just wondering. I don't see nobody. Anyway, yeah, but keep Kirk name out your mouth. But anyway, Kirk Cousins out there wheeling and dealing, and he's going against a Packer team that fell off the wagon for real last week. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even see that one coming. But what you think about this game?
You said who fell off the wagon?
The Packers fell off the wagon last week to Denver, man.
Yeah, unexpected. But for the most part, the Packers have been as good as we've expected them to be, right? They've been upright. Now on the other side, you're looking at Minnesota, and they've been disappointing for the most part until specifically last Monday. The beat that look at him. Look at that gentleman right there. You like that? You like that arm?
How did that end up there?
You like that?
Who put that on screen?
My guy, Kirk. But yeah, Kirk got busy last week, man. Kirk got busy, as did your man Jordan Addison as well. But Kirk got busy to the tune of 378 yards and 2 touchdowns. While Addison, let me slide to Addison. I can grab his numbers real quick. Addison had 7 catches for $123, 2 touchdowns last week, including the one right before halftime. But he said, "Give me that." You had to big boy him. He had to big boy him and take it to the crib. So that was the difference in the game. Jordan Addison, in my opinion. Hopefully, this means Minnesota is on the right track. Traveling into Green Bay is never fun, but traveling into Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers being there, it's not the same. It ain't the same thing. So we're going to see how they get down today. I'm leaning towards Minnesota. I'm picking Minnesota to win this joint. I haven't really thought about the score, but I'm going to give you 30-23. 30-23. We're going to put some points up today. Minnesota with the dub.
Why don't you mention Jordan Addison? Do you realize that he's quietly tied for second in receiving touchdowns right now with Tyreek Hill at 6?
Dang, I see.
Number one, of course, would be Stephon Diggs. But Addison, man, he really starting to find his stride, realizing he definitely has to be the man now with JJ down. But one thing I think is going to get Green Bay in trouble today, and I saw it last week because let's be honest, Denver's defense had been historically bad coming in the last week. Like last year, it was the strength of the team while Russ was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, honestly, if anybody really has been watching the Denver Broncos, I know that last game isn't a great indication overall, but it actually really hasn't been Russ. That's as much this year as it has been the defense. Defense has been horrible. That's why they're looking to be sellers. Possibly there's teams inquiring right now about Surtain, So, but
that's crazy though. That's crazy.
Yeah. I know we were supposed to win them, but we ain't gonna get them. But anyway, I take them. But anyway, yeah. So it's just crazy to me that Jordan Love couldn't take advantage of that situation last year, especially as weak as they had been from the back, from those back 7 on. So I don't know. He's just been up and down. I was expecting to see more from Christian Watson, even though Watson, he's coming off an injury, but I thought last week would definitely be the time. And they just didn't get it done. But that blitz, man, the Denver blitzed a lot. I saw something that they blitzed for 62% of the time last week or something like that. What's the name blitzes 56% of the time. So it's not that much of a drop off they did it against the 49ers last week. They were coming. They kept coming at Brock Purdy because they know they got some weaknesses on the back end. So they didn't want to give Brock time to put their ball in the air down the field. They're going to do the same thing today. And I don't know if Jordan Love going to be able to handle that Minnesota pressure. Not that they're a great defense, but that pressure helps keep them in games, man. So, but yeah, I'm riding with Kirk Cousins to go all out again. Kirk's 16 TDs is second in the National Football League, only behind Josh Allen, who's got about one.
I'm sorry, Prime. Could you say that again? Say it one more time for the people.
Oh, Kirk Cousins is second in the National Football League in passing touchdowns at 16.
Oh, all right.
One behind Josh Allen. Both of the quarterbacks that y'all love to criticize. But anyway, it is what it is. Numbers don't lie, fam. Too much Addison, too much TJ Hawkinson. I'm assuming he's healthy enough. I hadn't seen when he wasn't playing. Absolute monster. Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers today. Give me 30-17.
Ooh. 30-17 Packers.
And maybe they get their first rushing touchdown. They haven't had a rushing touchdown yet.
Really?
They're the last team in the National Football League without a rushing touchdown. Coming into last week, it was just them and the Steelers. Steelers got one last week. So Minnesota is the lone team without a rushing touchdown.
That's all right.
We'll see what happens. Cam Akers got an uptick in carries last week. So is he slowly starting to take that thing away? From old boy, they thought he was going to be the man after Dalvin Cook left. I don't know, but yeah, we're going to see. Maybe they get their first rushing touchdown today. All right.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah. Next up, we're going to go to the Saints and the Colts. Both teams sitting at 3-4. Both have lost their last two football games. And these are two teams who haven't met since 2019 when the Saints beat the brakes off from 34-7. Very interesting in this game when we look at the quarterback situation. We know what's going on with the Colts already. They're already down to your man's GM. You know what I'm saying? And then with the Saints, we talked about Derek Carr, and he hasn't actually really lit it up this year, but they've just been steady enough. But to me, it's really just been on the strength of their defense. This could be a very entertaining game. This has the potential to be a game that could be some point scoring, but it also has the potential where it could be a low-scoring game and still be entertaining. So I'm kind of anxious to see what happens.
Prime, something that I find interesting. First of all, Gardner Minshew. Shout out to Gardner.
What up, Caesar? What up, Joe?
I think Gardner Minshew is a better option. And obviously, Anthony Richardson is young. I think Gardner Minshew is. I think he's Nick Foles-ish. He's Nick Foles-ish. Not Super Bowl QB MVP. Nick Foles, the other Nick Foles. The other Nick Foles that you've seen in the past. But interesting fact: Gardner Minshew's thrown for 300 yards in the last two games. Now, one game it took 55 throws and he was 33 for 55. Woo! The other, it was only 23 throws over 300 yards passing. On the other side, Derek Carr has thrown for over 300 yards in the last two games as well.
Yeah.
50 throws again 2 games ago, 353 yards, 55 in the air last week for 301 yards. Yeah. So it does have the potential to be exciting, if nothing less. Exciting, a little back and forth. I'm so sorry, Prime. I'm so sorry. I've never really paid attention to the lady on game day morning, but she was just on the screen a moment ago.
Yeah.
And okay.
I understand.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I really, in my heart, I want to go. And I know I said the Colts were going to be the worst team in the league. I've said that. And I meant that. But I really want to go with them, even though New Orleans has the better defense in this game.
For sure.
Something, something is speaking to my spirit. It might be a little bit of that Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss combination. I don't know. Something is speaking to my spirit. I'm going with the Colts, bro. I'm going with the Colts. In a close one. In a close one. Oh, 26-24 Colts.
Interesting. You brought up the Saints defense, and they at nasty, number 4 overall right now. And you talking about your man's Gardner Minshew, Saints coming in number 4 against the pass, I think number 12 against the run, number 7 scoring defense, and a whole lot of other stuff. Like they are really, really solid, man, from front to back. The one thing is the running game, as you mentioned, with the Colts. Because I don't know if I saw Moss popped up on an injury report this week. So last I saw, he was a game time decision. But Jonathan Taylor started to find his legs last week too. And one thing I've learned is through my years of picking games, through playing FanDuel, from playing season-long fantasy, every week that I think that even some of the better backs are not going to do well because they're playing a top-notch defense, 75, 80% of the time, they end up doing well anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jonathan Taylor ain't going to do nothing today. He playing that such and such, that Saints defense, dude mess around and, end up with 150 total yards, a score or two. So this is going to be funny. It's just going to be a real, real fun game to watch. This kid, though, for the Colts, man, I don't know if you paid attention to this receiver they got, Josh Downs, has been getting down, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pittman who? You know what I'm saying? Josh Downs, the young is a real deal. So, and it looks like he's real comfortable with Gardner Minshew. So, I've gone back and forth on this game. I changed my mind. I had one team last night. This morning, I changed my mind again. But I'm going to stick with the Saints by 1 point in this one. Give me 20-19. Still think Jonathan Taylor has a nice game, especially if Moss is limited and doesn't play.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, Caesar, I said good morning, but don't come in here with that curse slander today, man. You're not doing that. You're not doing that.
Somebody's still talking crazy about Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I see the Niners weren't in here talking today, but Caesar, it wouldn't be Caesar. Congratulations on your Diamondbacks, though. So, who we got up next? Oh, the Jags and the Steelers. Jags and Steelers going at it. Jags have looked good in a lot of weeks. In a couple of games, they were subpar. Steelers have to be the most surprising 4-2 team because they just are not fun to watch. Like
at all.
If I were to go watch the Steelers game and whether they won the game or not, I'd be sitting there saying, yeah, I mean, this team is, okay. I mean, they ain't nothing. These people 4-2.
4-2.
You tell me how.
you know how, Prime. Your man's in them.
I mean, I got all the respect in the world for Mike Tomlin. Everybody want to, kick Mike White down. But I was looking at the way the team's playing. There's nothing about them that screams that they should be 2 games over 500 to me at this point. But here we are. I mean, they're there.
Oh, that's not the man's I was talking about. I'm talking about your man's. Your man's.
Who, Pickett?
Who is your man on the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, T.J. Watt.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
Bro, look, I was watching the highlights Sunday
Monster,
evening.
man.
I was like, I know that ain't T.J. Watt breaking on that ball, picking that job. I was like, what is happening? What is happening right now? He's out of control.
T.J. Watt is unreal, bro.
He is out of control.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt ain't never dropped back in nobody coverage and pick nothing like T.J. Watt. That's all I'm saying. He was back in coverage for real. Oh man, that was nice. I was shocked. I was very surprised. Yeah, I don't know what to say about the Steelers, bro. Like, what can you say? They look crazy. 4-2, but look crazy. And it's supposed to rain.
Oh.
Now, on the other side, you got Travis Etienne, who is getting busy.
He's the best player on the Jags right now.
Yeah, he's getting busy on a regular basis. And even when like Calvin Ridley's had games where he didn't play as well or didn't do as much. Man, you look at ETN, he's had 2 touchdowns in each of the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he has only hit 100 yards. He's only hit 60 yards in one of those 3 games.
Right.
But one way or the other, he has had 6 touchdowns in the last 3 games, 2 in each of them. So when he gets the rock, he's getting it in the end zone. It's a tough game to call because any game with Pittsburgh is a tough game to call because you don't know what's happening. Nobody knows what's happening except Mike Tomlin, and he might not even know what's happening. Looking at them, like in theory, I'd love to say the Pittsburgh defense will be able to do enough, and they're at the crib, a little bad weather. I think Pittsburgh can pull it off. I just have no faith in Pittsburgh for real. I can't do it. I know they're 4-2. I can't do it though, bro. I can't. I'm going with Jacksonville. I don't even care. Jacksonville 27, Pittsburgh 20. I don't even know how they're gonna get 20, but 27-20.
Man, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, man. I wonder if they get any inspiration. You know, your boy Mike Tomlin met with the girl Glorilla this week.
I saw.
Like she lost her mind. I'm like, what?
He was-
Like she losing her mind? Like Mike Tomlin? Like what is that about? Shouldn't she be? Is she a Titans fan? I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah, she lost her mind. You thought like for real? I saw the video. I thought she was like, you know, she's back there about to meet Drake or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy.
She might have thought it was me. She might have thought it was me.
You know what? Yeah, that might have been it. That might have been it.
For those who don't know, one time I was wearing black and yellow. Let's just say I was wearing black and yellow. I was at this event, and this gentleman looked at me and said, "You know who you remind me of? That Steelers coach." I was like, "Mike Tomlin?" Yeah. I was like, I mean, okay. I don't know where this is coming from, sir, but sure, run with it. Yeah, wild times.
That's wild.
It's wild.
I always get the Charlie Murphy joint. You know what I'm saying? The
Charlie Murphy.
Used to be Eddie Murphy when I was younger. Now it's the Charlie Murphy joint. So everywhere I go, people stop me. Excuse me, what about anybody say you look like Charlie Murphy? Oh no, ma'am. Oh yes, ma'am, or whatever. Yeah, it happens.
Charlie Murphy, rest in peace, Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, I got the I'm gonna take the Jags 27-20. And you mentioned the rain, which I didn't pay attention to. The only reason I was giving them 20 in this one, honestly, is because if there's been one weakness with the Jags this year, it's been their secondary. Cats have been able to throw the ball downfield, especially getting behind those safeties. And I figured, man, Kenny got one of them to go deep, right? They got one Pickens on at least one. You know, we know they ain't gonna go deep a lot because you know for a fact that Harris and Warren gonna get the majority of the receptions on the dump offs. But I figured they can sneak one in down the field, right? But then, like I said, you said that rain, and somebody just mentioned in the comments, Michelle. Matter of fact, Michelle Mason. Good morning, Michelle Mason. That there's still a top on the field. So
yeah, rain.
That's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm still going to take. The Jags though. Watch Christian Kirk in this game.
We gonna see.
Next up, Bird Gang, huh? We have your Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. And I saw somebody talk about the last game could be a trap game. This could be a trap game. Them people down in DC gave y'all a little bit of a problem for a little bit of the game when y'all played early. You know what I'm saying? How you feel today?
A lot of a problem, Brown. A lot of a problem. And after coming
out, beat y'all last time too.
I
think I picked them to beat y'all last time too. I think I did.
Well, I think you should do it again, bro. I think you should do it again.
Okay.
The week before, I guess it was the week before, I had picked Tampa Bay to upset the Eagles. Didn't I pick? Yeah, I picked Tampa Bay to upset the Eagles that Monday night before the Washington game. I think it was the week before. Who is this faceless? It feels like I don't know who it is.
The homie. That's the homie. That's Travis Ridley. What up, Travis?
Travis probably going to the game. But anyway, he probably at the game right now. He probably messaging from the parking lot. But yeah, Washington definitely gave them people a hard time. I thought Washington was gonna win at multiple points of the game, and I was just gonna have to take that L. It was, ain't really many excuses when you lose to a team as struggling as Washington. And I feel the same way today. If if we take the L to these people, which is possible, which is possible, we just gonna have to eat that and take the slander. I ain't picking it though. I ain't picking it though. And I know, like somebody this morning, I did TikTok live this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody pulled up talking about Jalen Hurts is inactive. I was like, what is wrong with y'all, bro? That's what you want to do this morning? You just want to harass me with some foolishness? Although I mentioned it in the group when he pulled up, people act like they ain't see it. Oh yeah, let's go back to that. Did you see it now? Did you see it now? Did you see it now? Jalen is hurt. Oh, he don't look like it. Oh, he don't. What?
Yeah, you did bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, that man had on a brace the whole second half.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about that part. Yeah,
I'm not that brotherly shoved in.
I'm not. No, that ain't stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. That's happening.
That's on the Diddy. That's on that bad boy, huh?
Got to do
Can't
it.
Stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Brotherly shove. We get down, baby. We get down. I got the birds, obviously. Not obviously, but I got the birds. I think Washington gonna have to deal with this ground game. It's gonna be Swifty and Gainwell today. Swifty and Gainwell today. Don't nobody care about Dallas either. How we gonna overlook? Anyway, I am not even harassing Prime this week because there's no need. We're not even there yet. Eagles 30, Washington 20. And I would never refer to you as the Commanders because y'all don't command much anything. Not even respect.
Y'all probably can't even see this. You probably can't. No, you can't. It's too bright. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I see it.
Same exact score.
Hey, same exact score. You know that's back-to-back same scores, right? That's back-to-back.
That's crazy. I got the Eagles winning by the same exact same score. I think it's probably gonna go down the exact way that you had it. And Washington, don't look at it like I'm hating. Look, I picked y'all to win the first game, and y'all was balling for a minute. I mean, y'all was in it, so don't blame me. Don't blame me. So, so it is what it is. But Raheem, I wouldn't be mad if they was overlooking y'all. Y'all just do what y'all got to do. You know what's odd about this game though? Is this is the second time y'all done played, right?
Mm-hmm.
Already.
So
y'all done with them for the season, right?
I don't think we're gonna play them in the playoffs. Yet? I don't think we're gonna play them in the playoffs.
We ain't played y'all one time yet, and we ain't played Washington yet. So y'all done with them already. We met twice. We ain't played neither one of them, one time yet. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I don't know. Did anybody see is Bayer playing back in the stadium? Man, y'all be pulling out moves too, bro. Like that dude, one of the best in the game. Look, he was one of my favorite defensive players in the game until last week.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like him no more.
You shouldn't. Don't
be his friend no more, man.
Don't worry about if he's playing today. Worry about if he's playing next week. Just worry about next week, and we'll focus on that.
We'll take my football and go home. It is what it is. So both of us have the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Commanders today. Shout out to everybody who's down at the game, man. Hope y'all have a good time down there regardless.
I ain't gonna put nobody business in the street. You said shout out. I'm saying not shout out to one person I know personally who is at the game and I am not there. Not that I care about going to games live. I really don't care. But one particular person is at the game and I am not at the game. I'm leaving it at that. Something ain't right. That's all I'm saying. That's all right.
Yeah, for a minute I looked at the schedule. I said, man, we might have a bad week back to back because the source might go to the game. But it is what it is, man. You might. It's so beautiful outside. This might turn out to be the time you might be watching the game and say, "Man, I should have went," because I felt that way yesterday. My homeboy, he go all the time. Went to the FSU Wake Forest game, and I had
Yeah.
chances to go forever, and I just shut it down. And then I was at work yesterday at halftime of the game because I watch it at work. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Just be on the 86 inch. You feel me? and I walked outside for a minute, and I look. I said, "Man, shame on me. I should have went. It's absolutely beautiful out here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it didn't help that the homie spent the night down there. So he sent me a picture of his little mini fridge in the hotel. Man, this man got fried these chicken wings, all types of stuff. Man had a whole 12 pack of Becs. Ain't nobody in the room but him. Becs, bro. Like, I should have went.
You should have went.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that again. I'm going next time. Shout out to everybody who just jumping on. JB, what's good, my man? Michelle May said Cowboys will not beat the Eagles. We gonna see. That's next week. We gonna see.
Tell him, Michelle.
All of you that's checking us out right now, no matter where you checking us out, right now we live on Twitter on my personal page. We're here in the Facebook group, the SBP. If you're not in the SBP, come over to Facebook and come on in. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we appreciate it. If you need to go over to YouTube at any point, we ask that it's under SBP TV. SBP TV. Please go on and subscribe, and like, and all that stuff. SBP TV. Appreciate y'all so much, so much. Next up, speaking of America's team, those Dallas Cowboys have a date today with the Rams. And this is a game that has the potential, I think, to go either way based on a lot of factors in that. And the first thing that I'm going to bring up, of course, is the subject of one Dak Prescott. I mean, why not? Because there's always the conversation, whether you're a Cowboy fan or you're not a Cowboy fan, you can't keep their names out your mouths, right? Dak Prescott playing against a team that likes to run heavy zone. And if you watched any of the Cowboys games last year, even when the offense was great, and if you watched any of the Cowboys anytime this year, particularly the Cardinals game, he struggles with teams that run heavy zone. So this is something to keep an eye on. On the flip side, with one Matthew Stafford, we know how Stafford can be. The man can pick you apart if you give him time. He can give you that rock if you don't give him time. So a whole lot to watch today with these two quarterbacks, man.
Agreed, Prime. I think there was I don't know if it already popped up or I missed it, but I saw something about Dak Prescott sitting down with Michael Irvin and having a conversation, but I missed that. I haven't seen many player conversations this season. Actually, I don't think maybe because we were doing the show and I just haven't paid attention to it. But yeah, I'd be interested in hearing what Dak had to say coming up to this week, because 6 touchdowns, 4 picks, could be worse. It could be worse. Right?
3 of them was in one game, though, but it was against heavy zone.
Could be worse. Yeah. Prime is hoping that it doesn't get worse today, as he mentioned the zone thing multiple times. I see a little nervousness, feeling a little shaky over there, Prime. I feel like you're a little.
I love number 4, but I get nervous every week when he back there. That's just what it is.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Fair enough. So far, on the other side, offensively, so far, I've been wrong about.
Say it again, because somebody told you.
I've been wrong about the combination of Nakua and Cup being able to coexist thus far. Now, when they debuted, they looked like something. It looked like something because it was a lot of catches, but I think they scored 14 points. They scored 14 points that first week. Yeah, I forgot who that was against. But yeah. So sounds good. And the numbers look good. Even if you look at Nakua, the last 3 weeks, 7 catches, 4 catches, 8 catches.
Mm-hmm.
He hit a buck 54 last week. You look on the other side, you got Cooper Kupp, 8 catches, 7 catches, but he only had 2 catches last week. Big difference there. It's going to be interesting. It should be a good game. I think, like, I don't know how much faith you have in your secondary right now, but they're going to get some work. They're going to get some work. Even if you mentioned Tutu Atwell, you want to throw that in there as well.
Mm.
They're going to get some work today. And you got me rethinking my life, talking about Dak and zones. I'm like, do I really want to put my faith in the Cowboys? But they at the crib, so I'm going with them. I'm going with Dallas. I'm going with Dallas, and I'm going with a good offensive showing and putting up some points as well. I got the Cowboys going 31. And man, I don't want to say 20 again, but it feels like the right number. That's 3 times in a row. I ain't trying to do it again, but 31-20, Cowboys at the crib, and they get the dub.
Man, it's all on number 4. It's all on Dak, man. It's all on Dak today. Remember last year when they played, the Cowboys won, was it 22-10? I forgot what the score was. Cowboys won. And you remember Dak only threw 16 passes. The perfect world, right? 16 passes, but that was because the Cowboys were able to run the football. They had like 170, 180 yards, something like that. Between 160 and 180. I don't even remember. I remember Pollard had a nice day. They haven't had that type of success this year, right? It's the offensive line doesn't look right. And it didn't look right last week against the Chargers. And then Dak, I know I criticize Dak a lot, and now y'all get mad with me, and y'all probably turn the show off or don't listen to what I put up. It is what it is, but I had to give it up to Dak in that last game, the week before the bye week against the Chargers, because he was a straight soldier.
Right.
In that game, he used his legs a whole lot more than he normally does, and he got back to moving around. He had to because the offensive line was straight garbage. Dak is like Jada Pinkett, man.
Whoa.
No. Let me explain. I ain't go to Jada Pinkett Smith, even though I guess she was married and all this, but I just said Jada Pinkett. Dak is Jada Pinkett. All right. So if you look like the Arizona game when he was out there stinking it up, I think we scored like 16 points. You know what I'm saying? He was Jada Pinkett in Scream 2. Y'all know the beginning of the movie. Things just ain't look right. Things went left, went crazy. And she eventually got killed in the movie. She died. So in that game, Dak was Jada Pinkett in Scream 2. Now, last week against the Chargers, Dak did everything he needed to do to survive in that game, right? Coming out of the pocket, breaking leg tackles, scrambling, running. Man, that's Stoney and set it off, bro. She did everything she had to do to survive. She's the only one that got up out that piece, right? They say, she on that boat. She was on that bus. You're sailing on. You know what I'm saying? She had it rough, but she made it. She counted it as a win. That was Dak last week. Week 4 last against the Chargers, right? So I'm just hoping that's the Dak that we got. Hope Dak is Stoney today. You feel me? So I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys 26-23. I think Stafford finds a little bit of success there with the football until Micah and Odigizua and the rest of the guys start to get at him and make him get rid of it a little bit quicker. He wants to get rid of it quick anyway. That's Cooper in the coolest game. When they started to get to him, I think that's when he crumbles. And I think Dak and them hold on just enough. And hopefully they find a running game. 26-23 Cowboys.
Whew, Prime. That was all right. That was all right. I ain't know what was about to happen. Bro. Talk to him.
That's my son.
Yeah. Talk to him. I was hoping you weren't gonna say, dang, why am I blank? What's that? What's the Alan Payne, Bokeem Woodbine, Jada Pinkett?
Oh, Jason's lyric joint?
I was hoping you weren't gonna say Jason's lyric, Jada Pinkett, and Dak be out there bugging naked. I was hoping we won't go on that route. Thankfully, we did not. Appreciate you not
Now,
going.
see that right there, the end of last season, that's when Dak was Jada Pinkett and Jason's lyric. Because remember, she got shot, right? She got shot. That was Dak against the 49ers last year in the playoff game. You feel me?
Yeah.
But she ended up surviving after we thought she was it, and he's back this season. You feel me? So that's where that would have came into play.
I respect it.
Yeah, so it is what it is. All right. Last two games. This game looked a whole lot more interesting until some of the injury news came down, but it would be the Browns and the Seahawks. You seen that Deshaun Watson is out again today, so I guess they turn into who's back? Is it PJ Walker?
PJ
yet to throw. He has no touchdowns so far this season. He has 3 picks on the resume for the year, and he's out there going against your boy Geno Smith and them. What you think about this?
Does PJ have a completed pass this season? Because I ain't see it. I haven't seen it. Oh, let me take a look. No wonder that man throwing. He's literally 50%, 33 for 66 this season. Yikes for 370 yards. Yeah, that's rough. Now, I will say,
you know what that is. So I mean to cut you off. You know what that is? That's just like when you was in Little League and you was young and you was playing backyard football and you used to being the quarterback, but that day came when you got a bad report card and you couldn't go outside and play. So one of the other kids that always wanted to be the quarterback, but you wouldn't let them get to play for the first time, and you realize that it's probably better catching the ball than throwing it.
Yeah. Be like, that ain't it. That is not it. He is not it. Yeah. I gotta give PJ credit for one thing, because he had me set. I almost hit the big money joint back in the what was it, XFL, USFL, whatever it was, a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, he had me right there for the big money.
But anyway.
Yeah, true, because they got the combination platter. He had me right there for the big money, so I can't hate him but so much. But 33 for 66, yeah, he might be out of his league. Literally, he's out of his league. Yeah. But anyway, that Cleveland defense is kind of crazy. They only Myles Garrett was a one man. He was ODB out that joint. What was it last week? One man army song, stripping and picking up fumbles and doing a little bit of everything. TJ Wattish, one might say.
That's high praise.
It is. And Geno is going to have to see that same thing, right? He's going to have to see the same problem. I have no confidence in Seattle. I don't know what's going on with Seattle, to be honest. I have no confidence in them. I think DK ain't playing, right?
Well, last I saw there was a possibility he may play. I haven't seen him ruled out yet.
Oh, he's not listed on the injury report. Interesting.
Yeah, he came out last week, and then Jigba got a chance to shine a little bit finally.
But Tyler
Lockett was the guy that they're monitoring even more than DK today.
Right. So that'll be interesting in itself as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh Lord, something got to give, and it's in Seattle too. Something got to give.
Is it raining?
I mean, most likely, even if we don't realize it, most likely it's raining in Seattle. We haven't seen anything special from Kareem Hunt. He got the ankle injury for Ford.
He's also game time decision.
This is a travesty. This is a
travesty.
I'm gonna go.
Curl gonna be on the sideline.
I'm gonna do. I don't know if this is called a Caesar. I don't know if this is called a Caesar. But I'm gonna go a tie.
Okay. You calling it tie in this joint, huh?
19-19. That's how ugly this is gonna be. 19-19. How you even get to 19? I don't know. A bunch of field goals
Bunch
and
of
one
field
touchdown
goals in
apiece.
there.
19-19. That's what I'm going with. A tie. That's like being in Vegas and putting it on the double zero. I don't know, bro. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm hoping DK is playing today because I want to see a matchup between him and Denzel Ward, who's absolutely balling out this year. And of course, a lot of that is with the help of, in my estimation, the player that's been the best. If he ain't been the best player in the league so far, he definitely been the best defensive player. That's Myles Garrett. You know, we've been giving high praise to the man's, of course, like I say, TJ Watt, you know, I'm a fan, but Myles Garrett has been unreal. And what he meant to this, you know, to this defense. And they've been pretty stingy for the most part. I think they gave him some points in the last game, though, like 30 some odd points. But I'm interested to see if my man Kenneth Walker is healthy and back this, you know, is and back doing this thing. Well, he played last week, but he was on the watch earlier in the week. He had 6 touchdowns already. You know, that's one of my guys. And I think he has the end zone again today. And that's why I'm gonna give the Seahawks the 23-16. I'm gonna be honest with you. If Deshaun Watson, and I know a lot of y'all don't have faith in Deshaun Watson. Now, if Deshaun Watson was playing today, I'd probably give the Browns a win by a point, maybe something like 24-23. Think he can make just enough plays to win this thing, but it just not happened today. No faith in PJ. So Seattle 23-16.
No faith in PJ. No, understood.
All right, and then we get to our very last game, which could shape out to be a really, really good game. I do know that some of the people who have entered the this live here now have some interest in this one, and definitely my main man JB, and that will be the Bengals traveling to take on the San Francisco 49ers. And all I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just be real. Now, I ain't throwing no shade. But the Niners ain't been right since your boy flashed that F Dallas t-shirt up under there. They didn't have some problems.
Wow.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I don't know who need this one more. Niners need this one to get back on track and need to be in a dominant team again to make up for those losses those last 3 games. Or the Bengals still scratching their way out of the cellar, bro.
Prime, who was the quarterback for the Bengals when this Super Bowl occurred?
When it Kenny Anderson? Was it
I was
Kenny
trying to
Anderson?
make sure. I was thinking Ken Anderson, but I
Chris
wasn't.
Collinsworth?
Did y'all know that Chris Collinsworth used to have a record? He used to have a state record in the 100, maybe the 100 or something like the 100 hurdles. Yeah, state. Yes, I know. The way you're looking right now, and I can't even see y'all. The way y'all are looking, that's how I felt when I heard it as well. Excuse me. Purdy is suspect now. So, wait, time out. Time out. Purdy is suspect as of when? Last week? I'm just asking a question. I ain't saying Purdy is Tom Brady. I'm just asking.
Michelle said to her, he ain't all that meets the eye. That's what she's saying. I don't know.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious because you're not the first person to say it. That's which is why it's interesting. There's been a lot of oh man, I knew he won't. I'm like, y'all, how y'all know all this? Y'all ain't never seen this before. Y'all ain't seen none of this happen before. But now he's nothing. He's nothing. To the point, to the level that people said if Mac Jones was in San Francisco, he would be the same. He would do the same thing as Brock Purdy. Y'all really don't like Brock Purdy. Y'all really don't think that man got no game. Because what has Mac Jones shown anybody that makes you think that if he was in San Francisco, he would have done what Brock Purdy did up until recently? Did I miss something? If Vernice was in here, she'd probably be like, yeah. He might. I don't know. I don't know how she feels about it. But anyway, hopefully Cincinnati is actually on the right track. You know, they kind of woke up a couple weeks ago a little bit, and the combination that we love so much was kind of on for at least 1 week. For at least 1 week,
Mhm.
um, San Francisco. Yeah, well, I mean, if Christian McCaffrey's out there, I think last week was just one of them days. It was just one of them days that he ran into Minnesota, and things broke right. For instance, that pass we talked about earlier with Jordan Addison, if that's a pick, it's a big difference in the game.
For
It just
sure.
happened to go the other way. So I'm still a believer in San Francisco, and I'm going with San Francisco today. I'm gonna give them 24-20. San Francisco. Wait, I should have looked up the Super Bowl score, but I'm going with 24-20.
Darn, and that's and I probably could call that score.
28-24. Uh, I can't
20,
remember.
I don't know. 26, 21,
21-17.
26, 21. I don't know. Anyway, somebody look up the score. Last time it was in the Super Bowl when the Bengals and Niners. Why is 26-21 coming up? I don't know. Somebody look it up.
That's John Taylor, right? Boom, John Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
26. Yeah, somebody just asked a good question right here, and that's what I was about to allude to. How is Joe Burrow's calf? That is a good question because you got both quarterbacks that have issues, and we've seen him struggle, and we've seen that offensive line revert back just a little bit this season to the fact whereas they thought they were getting better, and they kind of took a step back. So they're gonna have to find a way to protect him as he can be able to move because the Niners defense is as real as it gets. And then, like I said, on the Purdy side, Purdy just cleared concussion protocol. So two things to watch as far as these quarterbacks are concerned. JB says 49ers defense is coming out strong today, and I believe it. Was it 20-16? I know it was a 6 in there somewhere.
20-16. Dang.
It's 2016. I know it was. I said 26-21. I know it was a 6 in there. I just remember a 6 from that for whatever reason. But yeah, I think it's just something to watch to see how both of these quarterbacks are they affected by the things that's been hampering them. And we know McCaffrey's streak of getting in the end zone is great. I don't think the 49ers are worried about the Bengals running the football. That's really not their MO. But this is the thing. Ward last week, Javarius Ward, that play could have gone either way. We had the ball ripped from him. Yeah, he caught a couple of bad breaks on penalties as well. But I'm sitting there thinking, if there's any way that Burrow can get some time, are they going to leave him one-on-one with Jamar Chase? Because Ward's going to have the shortest – he got to have a short-term memory. You know what I'm saying? Because you're about to deal with a handful. So, I don't know, man. Bengals only allowing 87 rushing yards a game, too. So, it's going to be interesting to see if McCaffrey really can get off. But believe it or not, I know it seems like I've been beating the Bengals down the last few weeks, and I wasn't beating the Bengals down. I was just trying to tell y'all when y'all was trying to tell me when they started 0-2, as we've seen this before, that it wasn't the same. But I gotta believe it's gonna get clicking somewhere at some time. And why not against a team today that most people don't have you beaten? I'm gonna take the Bengals 28-27.
Ooh, okay. Prime taking a shot, throwing a shot out there.
I throw 1 or 2 out every week,
All right. I ain't mad at it.
Could you imagine Nana Nation if that really was to happen? If they was to lose again? I ain't nobody picking the Bengals today. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ain't nobody picking the Bengals to win this game. Every Sunday or two, we have a couple of games where something just happened. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
So I'm throwing that shot for the day.
Take your shot. Throw it out there.
Indeed. I initially was going to throw in the Atlanta and Titans game, but I didn't. And part of the reason because I had kind of figured that the Titans might be missing a few players,
right.
Their key players due to trades, and it came out that supposedly none of them are getting traded. So 1 or 2 of them be gone by Tuesday, Wednesday. But but I think that's an interesting game I'll be watching as well for a lot of reasons. Um, but before we get up out here, man, I just wanted to ask you. You and I were speaking initially early in the show. I don't know if we mentioned it before we got on the air, but you do have any thoughts on the 2 or 3 games that you might have seen so far in the NBA? Just any thoughts
Not.
about anything?
I think that yes, Anthony Davis disappeared in the second half as far as getting buckets of
Went
that first
ghost.
game, but I think like I don't know, people overreact after one game. People go crazy. I was like, bro, it's been one game. Then you come back and get busy in game two anyway. So, yeah. I also think the demise of Chris Paul after game one was overstated. Then he comes back with 12 assists. I forgot what he had
Yep.
exactly in game two. And they get busy there. Steph does what he does. Interesting that the Chicago Bulls had to have a players only meeting after the first game. But Zach went for 51 last night. I think it was last night, yeah. Zach went for
Mhm.
51 last night. Um, Wemby is an interesting product. I don't I don't I don't like the makeup of that team. I've never really cared, I haven't paid too much attention to San Antonio as far as the makeup of the team in the last couple of seasons, but everybody's good. That's their team. Their team is like this. Everybody's good. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If it's space for Wemby to be the guy, but I don't even think he's ready to be the guy. Like he's gonna get a lot of
Yep.
work, and I need them to stop comparing him to LeBron in any way, shape, or form, because LeBron is not normal. Nobody gets the pressure from before they leave high school, before their senior year in high school, and exceed expectations. That's not normal. So comparing Wemby to LeBron is unfair to that dude because there's no way he's going to live up to that expectation. So y'all are just setting him up to fail, basically. Will Embiid be stuck in Philly? And I say stuck in Philly at this point because rumors of him wanting to get out is are floating around, so they say, right? He ain't coming to New York, bro. So you can just relax and I think
Embiid.
yeah.
Oh, I look. I don't buy any of that stuff no more. I've been through that. All that every year, waiting, waiting, waiting. Even though a couple of the Philly stations, there's real talk supposedly that he actually wants to come. Like that's the thing. Like we heard about Donovan Mitchell, which I think is more realistic that in the next season too that he probably gonna end up in New York.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but there's real talk from people who suppose to know that he wants to come, that he actually wants to come to New York. But I'm not resting, man. I don't think it's gonna happen either.
And Steph Curry is a bad man. Also, that I forgot to mention that. I don't know if everybody knows that. I don't know if everybody's understanding. And I saw somebody else say this. A friend of mine said this. Steph Curry makes it look so easy that when he does it, people think that it's easy. It's like people don't understand what's happening. The same with LeBron. It's the same thing. People look at LeBron and he does so many things at such a high level that people don't credit it. Which it's Jay-Z, it's Beyonce, it's the same exact thing. I'm throwing Steph Curry into that same mix because what he does looks so easy. And he's 6'3", and you're like, it's whatever. And he can just shoot. Nah, man, y'all crazy when y'all say that. And yeah, get that man his due. And I think that's it. That's it for what,
Let me
4 days, 5
let me
days.
ask you this. Let me ask you this though, because Michelle says her comment because she said something about Miami need to do some soul searching, and she said that Jimmy Butler. She thinks Jimmy Butler will want out of Miami if they have a bad season. Do you think it's realistic? Because they've had success as far as getting to the finals,
Yeah,
but after crashing out and lost some players this year that there were key players in that run, but also in hanging his hat on the fact that he just knew that he was going to be balling with Dame,
yeah.
and that didn't happen. You think that's a real possibility? Because I do.
I hadn't really thought about it that deeply, but yeah, the fact that he thought he was going to have a sidekick, working my sidekick with my sidekick. Yeah, actually having thought he was going to have a sidekick, or even not even just a sidekick, just somebody to take some of the scoring pressure off on a regular basis. Like you could say Tyler Hero gets buckets, blah blah blah, whatever. You could say Bam goes off sometimes, but there's not a consistent bucket getter on a regular basis, and it usually ends up being him. But he's got to do literally everything else. I
Right.
can't do all the stuff all the time. Like somebody else got to do something. I can't have to be the greatest player on earth, in order for us to be great, but I have to do it all the time. That's too much for one person. So
Right.
I could see that. Thinking about it that way, I could see that. I don't, in 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 reality, like how many people get to the championships to the championship more than one time, to the finals more than one time.
Right.
And he's had his opportunities and in Miami. So do you really want to leave that environment, especially when you've been so many other places where that wasn't even a thought? Like you weren't getting to the finals. You're not getting to the finals at these other places. So do you really want to go back out there somewhere that is less organized as an organization, I guess? Or do you want to just see what happens and see if give it another chance? Maybe next year. Maybe Embiid pulls up in Miami next year. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd stay if I was Jimmy Butler. I'd stay where the success has been constant and bird in the hand is two in the bush, or the grass is greener, all that type stuff. When you had your chances, when you've had your chances, sometimes you might just want to ride it out and hope for the best.
Yeah, you hit this about everything with me. The one thing I say about Wembanyama, though, I would be willing. First of all, I have no doubt that he's going to be really good. I think. Is he ready to have the pressure of being the man of the guy? Like the expectations already been put on him, right? That remains to be seen. But I looked at his skill set on both ends of the ball, and man, I think he's going to be really good. And I won't be surprised though if he ends up being one of those guys that's going to be more in the defensive player of the year convo before he's ever in a MVP convo. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yep.
He's got some skills. I know a lot of people wondered about that, especially with the makeup of his body, and that'll continue to grow. As long as he can stay healthy, he don't have like the leg or the knee problems a lot of the tall guys seem to have at some point, and I think he's going to be in good. But I have been impressed with him defensively more than anything in what I've seen from him. The Boston Celtics, I'm seeing exactly what I thought I would see. And I think I don't like to jump the gun, but if anybody watched the first game when they played against the Knicks, they get that Christian Porzingis. I'm telling you, if they get that Porzingis for a majority of the year, they're going to be a problem for anybody. And I know people have already know. I'm sitting in the barber chair the other day, and I'm like, yeah, Boston going to win it all. I'm like, ho. They just played the game. Right. And I had another guy come through. Yeah, Boston. I'm saying, great. I'm glad everybody's loving what they see. We ain't seen them play but a game or two. But if they stay relatively healthy, and they can get the quality from that bench, they can get quality play from the bench, and Porzingis is able to do, what he's done so far. He rebounding, scoring inside and out, defensively, swatting stuff. That's exactly what they need. They are going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Milwaukee. Hey, I love what I've seen from Dame. And I love, not that I didn't think we were going to see it, but I love the fact that watching Giannis seemed to be cool with just sitting back and letting Dame cook. You hear now, look, I didn't know how to get these people that gave me this extension. I ain't going nowhere now for real. Go and get your feet in there. Get in, let's dig in. Because it's going to pay dividends down the line. We really learn how to play off of each other. But I'm sitting there watching. He just letting Dame cook. Oh, you got the shot, bro. I'm going over here. I'm going to go ahead and set this pick for you, whatever. I'm loving that. So I can't wait till the first, and let's pray that they all healthy. But I can't wait till we get that first Boston-Milwaukee matchup.
Yeah, that's
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, hopefully.
I definitely can't wait to see that. And that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, it's funny watching the Clippers the other day and actually seeing all those guys on the floor together. I don't know how long, I don't know how
Yeah.
long that's gonna last, before we see somebody on the injury report. But
Right.
it is what it is. So I think it's off to a great start. I know a lot of people don't get into the NBA until well into the football season or after, but when they throwing these games on, bro, I'm gonna watch, even if it means pull up an extra TV or iPad. So, and basketball is just in the air. We're less than 2 weeks away. For those that care, I definitely care for college basketball, especially the women about to get it on the week after next. So I'm very hype about that as well. Especially, I think, well, maybe I might briefly talk about it next week, but I think the top 10 in the women's game, particularly the top 7 or 8, may be the strongest top 10, I would say, I've probably seen maybe in the last 5 or 6 years. It's going to be ridiculously good for the people who care. So that watch the game, The men are the men. We can always enjoy it, whatever, but there's something about this women's thing that's going to be super exciting.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And that's it. You got anything for the people before we peel out?
Man, y'all missed out. I just want y'all to know. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you missed out. Well, I know that sounds self-serving, but for real, you missed out Friday night. Okay, so last week there was a video of a young man who has a large following, and he said he was ranking decades of hip hop. This man had the audacity to say that 80s rap was trash. And I don't know this guy and I don't follow him.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to take it. But I noticed that he had 300,000 followers. I was like, okay, so he's talking to a lot of people, whether he knows what he's talking about or not. He was like, 80s rap is trash. It had no, it was basic. It was cheesy, blah, 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 blah.
Cheesy, corny.
I was like, I have to respond to this. So I posted a video response to that, which it didn't go viral, but it went pretty heavy. It went pretty heavy. But it led me to do all 80s hip hop night Friday night. We went all 80s. We started in 80, went all the way to 89, 4 hours of 80s hip hop. It was crazy. It was pretty crazy. So if you missed it, you might have missed a good one. But yeah, and also if you're on TikTok, like I said, and you know Elsie, she's a content creator, music creator. I'll be chopping it up with her on Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, and that should be fun. So I'll throw it on YouTube once we do that. Talk a little music and her things that she does as far as content with hip hop and R&B.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. And I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had a week away from the people, and I was going to do a show last week, and then some other things came. I said, we're going to take the bye week. But I ain't got nothing. Ain't nothing interesting about what I'm doing. I'm just watching, drink beer, It is what it is. But I enjoy checking out your stuff, though.
I appreciate you. I don't have a beer in the house. I might have to go to the store. Also, just throwing this out there, Prime. You and I have an invite if we choose to at 1 p.m. to what's the name of the show? Dan's show.
Oh, the Starting Five?
Starting Five, yes, sir. I might have to pass on that. I think my daughter gonna come down at 1 when the game starts.
Let me see what I'm doing. I think I don't know if I'll be able to make it myself. Yeah. I may or may not have something. I know about 5 or 10 minutes after we get off of this.
Yeah, it just popped up on my phone a couple minutes ago, so just throwing it out.
Gotcha. So I'll respond as well. But as always, we appreciate everyone that's checking us out. Enjoy the games today. Enjoy, whatever you got going on. As always, you can catch us here on Facebook, DSBP. Come join the group. Sports talk is our thing, but hip hop, television, and movies are always in play. You can also go to the YouTube channel. We ask you please to go ahead and subscribe to that. It's under SBP TV. Appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all that's been checking out on my personal Twitter page. We got a Twitter page up, or X page, well, the platform formerly known as Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been fighting back and forth because I really don't use it. So I don't know if it's going to stay up. For real, I just, X is kind of taking a turn where I kind of care more about just having one page and not jumping back and forth. We'll see if that stays up or not. So that's why the lives usually just go to my personal page. And then sometimes I'll just click and share them over there. So, and it is what it is.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, but till next time, we your boys, we out.